right, so you have Kanaz here. Kanaz, this is about will, inner light, and wisdom. So will kind of gives me Leo energy, inner light kind of gives hermit-like energy, and wisdom is giving Sagittarius energy. So we have Virgo, Sag, and Leo coming through with the come through. All of which to me is, you know, it's like being self-reliant and trusting in your intuition, your insight, and your experiences. A lot of people think that they know things, but they haven't experienced it, and that's where wisdom to me comes in. You know, it's one thing to know, but it's another thing to have wisdom, and a lot of times wisdom is by way of experience. So this is trusting in your own experience, and like it says, Kanaz, it's a torch, you know, and we usually see a torch with the Hermit card. Well, yeah, maybe it could be another card depending on the deck, but anywho, we also have Gibu coming out. All right, and this is about a gift. All right, so this is about giving, balance, and crossroads. Crossroads always remind me of trains. But again, the gift, your inner light, your will, and your wisdom is your gift, okay? Knowledge is power. But I feel like wisdom is power. You know what I'm saying? It also gives me Six of Pentacles energy as well. So with a gift, something, you know, when something is a gift, obviously someone's gifting it, someone's giving it to you. So I'm not sure who's giving this to you. This could be someone physical. In the physical, or someone who is, you know, doesn't have a physical body. It could be a spirit, ancestors, whomever. But this is definitely something that is being bestowed upon you. Now, you also have Laguz coming out, which is water. So Cancer, Leo, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, excuse me. And this is about potential desire and energy. Laguz, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But this also can be the gift that is being bestowed upon you here. Laguz definitely with the water, that's intuition. Could be psychic abilities for some. That is compassion. It's unconditional, but it's very creative indeed. And so, you know, a lot of creatives, that's why people, you know, most people are striving to be a creative because there's a lot of money in it. It's interesting though, because it kind of isn't at the same time. You have starving artists, and then you have those who are successful artists. I suppose it would just depend. It can go either way. But whatever this gift is, I doubt that your ancestors or whomever would give you these gifts and have no intentions of it, you know, profiting from those said gifts, right? It's not always about that, but the way the world is set up in this reality, it is though. So, you know, we do have to take that into account. Or maybe some of you are, pun intended. We have Tiwaz with determination, justice, and integrity. So this is giving, for me, unstoppable vibes, persistence to make it, especially when we talk about water. Anything water related is not necessarily valued. Things that are more logical, apparent, physical is more respected and valued. So for this to be coming out, it's like a water gift that you have, and there's many water gifts, right? Or this is just simply indicating like some type of spiritual inclination that you have, which is not always respected. It's not valued really anymore. And so with that being said, with Tiwaz coming out and you having the gift of determination, this is definitely given a vibe where for some of you, you are going to be receiving justice, because it's like you've, like I said, have not been valued. You have been overlooked for things that are more practical, quote unquote practical, and more logical, things that most people can have access to. I noticed that the things that, you know, people can learn themselves, they can learn to get control over, or they can simply buy their way into it. Those are the things that are more valued, as opposed to like maybe spiritual gifts, for example. You can't buy your way into having them. You can't force it. You can't control it. You can't even really learn it if you just don't have it, right? And so a lot of times people only want to invest in things that everyone else can have access to. And then they'll deem the things that they can't access as, you know, I don't want it, it doesn't mean anything, whatever, whatever. That's why water is a feminine trait, it's a feminine quality. And that's why they go so hard to try to control feminine energy, not just women, just the feminine energy, because they can't necessarily control it. They don't even understand it because it wasn't meant for them to, right? So this is essentially what I'm getting for some of you guys collectively. It's those of you who are more water inclined, intuitively inclined, creatively inclined. It definitely feels like you are going to be receiving justice in the near future, is what I'm getting from these runes. Now we have Nathis. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. But this is about struggle, turmoil, and persistence. So it just kind of clarifies essentially what I was picking up on with Tiwaz. Pronunciation, man. I love words, but I don't like the ones that are just difficult. My goodness, just like long ones. Anywho. All right, so this is just clarifying further, like kind of being, you know, that starving artist, or just struggling to get your ideas, your gifts off the ground, to get support, financial or logical, practical support. But again, you have, you know, persevered through it all. And again, I feel like you are going to be receiving justice due to your integrity. A lot of people, you know, they will resort to doing underhanded things, thinking in underhanded ways, and just being an underhanded Seven of Swords type of person just to get the dollar, to get the money, the power, and the respect. They will do it. And a lot of times, you know, we hear, I mean, it's true. You don't become a millionaire or a billionaire or just someone who is extremely well off, you know, without doing some underhanded shit to people. That's just the way it is. And that's another reason why they say the love of money is the root of all evil. And I think that goes back to the Egyptian messages I dropped today, where I was getting, what was it? Burdens or something, burdens at the root, or bondage at the roots. Yeah, bondage. That's devil energy, which is Capricorn, you know, not to call names or be specific about it, but bondage at the root. And for the love, you know, the love of money, for the love of money is the root of all evil. So there's just issues with people's roots and, you know, how they came to be and what it is that they have. Not that you can change it, not that they even care about it. They don't care how they, you know, went about getting it, because they wouldn't have done it if they did care about it. So there's no point in you trying to shame anyone. It is what it is at this point. But that's why it took you longer, you know, to get to where it is that you're trying to get to. And a lot of you, this may be a time where, you know, you may start to see things start to move in your favor this year. This year, whatever this year started. Some people think this year started in January. Other people think whatever they want to think, right? But I feel like due to your integrity, not only did it take longer, but I do feel like it's finally you're going to finally start to see some type of growth. It's going to be small, but of course it's going to grow. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than, you know, planting seeds and you still watering them, tending to the garden, but you're not seeing anything sprout. You're starting to see things sprout, which indicates progress, and, you know, it's only up from there. So that's what I'm getting. And then it goes to my next point. You have Hagelas, and Hagelas is about delays, tests, and challenges. So it just confirms what I was already kind of going in on, right? I was already harping about. It just confirmed that further. So you did experience delays, all right, and tests and trials and tribulations. You know, it's, what do they say? The chosen one, or the gifted ones, or the favored ones, whatever you want to call it, they go through the most. They go through the most because they have a higher purpose. So, you know, in hindsight, you know, that's the only time we can really appreciate struggle is in hindsight. But in hindsight, it's like you're usually glad you went through what it is that you went through, because had you not gone through that, you wouldn't be where you are today. And even if you feel like you're not anywhere today, I can't even say that. You are getting somewhere. You are somewhere today. Like something that you could have set up 3, 4, 5 years ago, and it's just now you're starting to appreciate. Like, I'm so glad I actually set that foundation up. Just imagine people who are trying to set something up right at this very moment. It's going to be a lot harder for them. It's definitely going to be a lot harder for them. But I definitely feel like a lot of you have overcome, or you are about to overcome some of your hardest challenges, blockages, and delays here. Okay, period. It's like you should be worried when when you don't have anything or anyone trying to block you. You should really then be worried, because clearly you don't rob empty houses, right? Like if everything is all easy, peaches and cream, like, I mean, sure, in the moment is great and grand, but let one little trial or inconvenience or something that's uncomfortable hit you. It's a wrap for you. You will crumble and fumble. All right, so this is what I have collectively with the runes. I'm going to go through each sign. I see Birkana trying to make an appearance here. And Birkana is all about growth, new beginnings, and renewal. So it's trying to make an appearance. It didn't fall down the way I needed it to, but it's trying. Okay, so it's just about, you know, like I said, it's just about getting there. It's getting there. Okay, so the rest of these messages will be on Patreon and or YouTube members if you are interested in your rune messages.